Hello and welcome to the Dinosaur for week 1 of 2023, which is very exciting. If you like these, by the way, give it a like, press the button now, but also, very importantly, as it's week 1 of 2023, if there's something you'd like to see more or less in the Dinosaurs, then I'm more than happy to hear about those and I'll see what I can do. Other than that, as ever, let's crack on. First one is kind of drone news, I guess. So this is actually out of Switzerland and this is researching things that can land on weird things. So these are birds based on eagles, really, that can land on trees, essentially. So what is the purpose of this? Well, if you can land on something that is not a flat surface, then you can extend your range, you can do all sorts of things. You can, for instance, land on a tree, charge for a few hours, do another quick hop to another tree, and therefore you can extend the range of the missions that these sorts of robots can do. If you have a current drone with quadcopters or whatever, then they really need a flat surface to land on. It really restricts what you can do with them. And there you go. So that's why that's really quite interesting. It actually only uses one claw, so it doesn't use the two sort of eagle claws, but you know, keeps it simple right now. So that's kind of neat, and well done for that. Spray on Skin is out of Stanford. This is a special, obviously, rubberized spray on skin. You then connect it to a wireless device on your wrist, and it can then convert the movements of your limbs, your hands, whatever, and learn what it actually means. And for instance, you can teach it to type by using where your hands move laterally and up and down, whatever. And it can also do things like if you're in the metaverse or AR, it can then track your limbs and know what's going on there as well. I find it slightly weird that obviously you can do all of this really cool stuff and you're still tapping away on a keyboard, which by very nature the layout is kind of based on history and typewriters and things. However, that's kind of cool, really like that. This is NVIDIA's entry into the Stable Diffusion play, I guess. This is, you might have seen these before, things like DALL-E or Midjourney, those sorts of things. Now you spend a huge amount of time, if you've played with them for instance, spend a huge amount of time trying to get the text input exactly right so that it draws what you want. However, NVIDIA's version comes with two extra tricks. As you're seeing right here, you can draw where you want things and it'll oblige with that as well. And unlike something like Midjourney where you say in the style of Picasso, it's learned Picasso and therefore it can do it. With this one you can actually upload the style reference you want. So if you do want Van Gogh, for instance, you can actually upload that and say draw me a teddy bear in the style of this image. It doesn't necessarily need to have learned it through some other way. So you can upload your own artwork into it and you can generate your own style on top of something else, which is really quite interesting for artists. So there you go. So that's NVIDIA's eDiff-I. They've got to work on the name. This is BitPet, so this comes out of Norway, and this is kind of inspired by Pokemon Go. It's a startup at the moment. You can only really sort of sign up to be part of the demo or the intro to this, but I really like the idea of this one. That it's sort of, you've seen things like this before, but you adopt your pet and you create your pet and you can put accessories on your pet, and then you have to take it for a walk. So you actually have to go out and exercise, and therefore you can do all the things kind of like Pokemon Go does, but you can meet other pets along the way and play and power up because of that as well. So not exactly sure how this works with sort of meeting weirdos on the street, but I really like the idea of using computer games like this, like Pokemon Go, but the purity of just going out for a walk and exercising your virtual pet. Good, so have a go at that. Pipebots, so this was actually, they've been out for a few years now in different ways. You can actually get tethered bots that go down pipes, for instance, that look for holes in pipes or leaks. But these ones are called Pipebots, and what they do is they autonomously walk down pipes and look for leaks. So as you can see from the stat, 3 billion litres of water, are lost in England and Wales every single day due to leaks. Now a lot of that is also, you send out a crew to go and dig up the road, they're not exactly sure where to actually dig up the roads, and a lot of those pipes are inaccessible, in which case if you send these things down, then they can actually tell you where things are going wrong. I thought that was really neat. Apparently 5 years is the timeline before these are deployable, you know, waterproof, etc, etc. There you go. Lots of storms this year, unfortunately sort of quite devastating storms across North America, Canada, etc. However, this is a relatively warming story, almost literally. So this was actually a use of the Ford F-150 Lightning, which is an EV, and it has one feature on there which something like the Teslas do not have, which is bi-directional flow. So not only can you charge up your car, you can also get energy from your car to power your house if you have the right hookup to your house. If you don't, you can kind of budget, to be fair, which is what one owner did. They had a power outage, and for 2 days they powered the essentials. So things like refrigerators, Wi-Fi so they can get information, TV just so they can check on what's going on. And the amazing thing was that after 2 days they still had 65% of their battery left in their car. So we've heard about this being a useful feature, thinking, well, why would this ever be useful in this utopian world? And that's it, it's this dysfunctional world where it actually becomes useful. So things like Teslas, then this should really be a feature. There you go, please. As I say in the comments, I think 2022 will be remembered as a pretty crappy year, all in all, with lots of things going on. I won't mention all of them. However, what we didn't get, which is what I sort of predicted at the beginning of the year, was a massive meteorite strike just to be the icing on the cake. However, you can actually go to neil.fun, and there are lots of great experiments on this website. Please do go and just actually have a look at neil.fun anyway. There's some great stuff on there, but this one will allow you to choose a place in the world and drop an asteroid, and you can specify what asteroid, what angle, what speed, and it will tell you exactly what's going to happen to that. So for instance, if you dropped one on the centre of London, it would leave a 5.6 metre mile wide crater, and a lot of people would have a severely bad day that day. However, it's just interesting. I also went on a big thing to try and find out where could I drop this in the world where it wouldn't make an issue. There you go. So it's nice exploring to do. Hopefully that was useful. Hopefully it was interesting. If it was, as I say, give us a like, leave us a comment below what you'd see more or less of, and I will see you next week.